You can either jump on board with this shit, or we're coming after you in the same way that we come after MAGA.
Well, Democrats are feeling very emboldened after their sweeping election victories in this 2025 race. You had Mamdani beat, or Hamdani, as Robert De Niro would call him.
Hamdani.
Defeating Andrew Cuomo, who pierces his nipples and probably has a weird sex life. You have Mikey Sherrill beating Jack Chicha. I shouldn't be in politics. My name's too impossible to pronounce. And just so you guys know, it's actually pronounced Jack Chat GPT. We have Abigail Spanberger beating a black woman named Winsome Earl Sears. Winsome Earl Sears, not a name that rolls off the tongue. California just pretty much deciding they're going to pass Prop 50. The elections in California are completely fraudulent. They already had this decided and projected as a win before they counted one vote. I don't know how they knew that. I didn't see any polls that would indicate that, but they were just so sure, and that's how we do it in California. We have a true democracy in California. Democrats do whatever the hell they want. That's kind of how they set it up out here. But I was watching this Jennifer Welch. Have you seen this face? You probably have if you've seen Saw, the movie Saw, or the Purge characters, I guess. It's a very interesting face, and we're not going to make fun of people's looks, but we will say that physiognomy is a real thing, and she has evil physiognomy. That looks like a satanic type of person. She looks like a goat head type of, the goat head that the Satanists use. She has that look. That's what I see. I see a frightening mask, not an unattractive woman. She's not bad looking. She's in good shape, but the face scares me. Ooh, Halloween is over, but I'm still feeling the effects looking at her. Here she is at the Mamdani victory party where she panders to brown people and says, white people have no culture, but you guys do.
If it was all white people in here right now, it would be boring as shit. I've grown up in those circles. Everybody needs some spice and some color in their lives. Life's a lot better. That's the coolest thing about America.
It is the coolest thing about America.
Except for multiculturalism.
Well said.
And we need to teach people how to embrace that. These crusty white people need to learn how to embrace it.
Crusty white people need to learn how to embrace it. Is there anything more cringe and embarrassing than a white woman going up to a bunch of brown guys and saying, we need to be more like you guys. We have no culture. We built the West into what it is, but we don't have any culture. Tell me about Pakistan, Mehdi Hassan. Can you tell me about the beauty of Pakistan or Pakistan? Hey, other Indian guy, can you tell me about the beauty of India, please? How can we be more like India? We have no culture. We don't have street food culture like you have. I'm mixing up the accents. Whatever. That is actually very racist. I can't think of anything more racist than going up to brown people and be like, wow, I love your culture. You guys are so cool. We're so lame. Like we have like Beverly Hills and you guys have Karachi. We're so lame. We need to be more like you guys. We're crusty white people. You're amazing brown people.
Charlie Kirk, ma'am?
Yeah, him's horrible. Horrible.
Charlie Kirk is horrible.
Did she say him's horrible? Him's horrible. This is the level of intellect of the average Democrat, guys.
Him's horrible. Horrible.
Charlie Kirk is horrible?
Yes, I'm glad he's not here.
You're glad he's dead?
Yes.
Why would you say something like that, ma'am?
Because he was horrible on the campuses, the college campuses. Horrible person.
You know what? I do the exact same thing.
Well,
would you be glad if I would die?
Maybe. I'd have to think about it.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Be ashamed of yourself.
Well, look at who we're dealing with. You got to remember, I understand. Perhaps if I look like that and I had an evil soul inside of me and had no joy and I was a deadbeat and needed to make some cheap money being a Democrat protester, I'd probably act like that if I couldn't find Jesus. If I thought I was smart because I have all these SSRIs I'm addicted to.
Diabetes.
I do the exact same thing.
Well, I'm
Would
so
you be
sorry.
glad if I would die?
Maybe. I'd have to think about it.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Be ashamed of yourself.
Your friend just said she'd be happy if I died.
I think we need to.
They're crazy. They're absolutely crazy. These are the most dangerous people. See, they pretend like they're against kings, they're against racism, they're against sexism, they're against violence. They're the most violent ones. Here's what Jennifer Welch thought of that, by the way.
Your friend just said she'd be happy if I died.
I think we need to.
So she finds it funny. I mean, this is what she laughed at, guys. This is what she's laughing hysterically at.
Just said she'd be happy if I died.
I think we need to.
That's funny to a Democrat. To say, hey, she said she wishes I was dead. And she goes, ha ha. And then every Democrat starts laughing. That is funny. It's what they believe, guys. You have to face this truth. I know it doesn't feel good when you look at the Democrats and you want to just think they're lost souls. I know what you're saying. Most of them were just dropped on their heads as kids. They're not evil. But the influencers, the people out there doing the bidding, absolutely evil.
I'd have to think about it.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Be ashamed of yourself.
Your friend just said she'd be happy if I died.
I think we need to.
So listen up, Democratic establishment. You can either jump on board with this or we're coming after you in the same way that we come after MAGA. Period.
So there you go. Period. This is what they think. This is kind of leveling up and understanding this is a political thing, but it's spiritual warfare. This is demonic energy. Look at her. What do you want me to say?
Hold up.
Don't comment on people's appearances, blah, blah, blah. Look at her, okay? God gave you eyes and an instinct and hopefully spiritual discernment to where you can look at someone cackling like this and understand, oh, this is not the right direction. I need to turn around.
So listen up, Democratic establishment. You can either jump on board with this or we're coming after you in the same way that we come after MAGA.
Jump on board with this. That's what they want. Don't get mad at us. This is what they want. So we're happy that Mamdani won. Look, I don't want to see anyone suffer. But on this side, I think, and I was talking to a lot of people in the chat on my live, and everybody seems to be like, yeah, let them have it. Let it burn. It's cool. I'm not going to burn. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to sit back and get my popcorn and watch. Here's another one with the lovely Jennifer Welch. Here she is talking to a black guy. Listen to this. This is a big yikes.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you have any family members that are MAGA?
No.
You'll get the biggest kick out of this, Monday, and I don't think Pumps knows this. So during this most recent election, my husband, I live in I would say a 99.9% white neighborhood. Okay. So my husband comes home from work and he goes, well, the weirdest thing just happened. The house 2 blocks south of us just put up 2 MAGA signs in their front yard and they're black.
No.
How's that?
No.
You're the only black family that lives in this godforsaken whiteness and they're f***ing MAGA. He goes, it's just such a disappointment to me.
No.
Yes. And they had 2. They're a corner house and and I was just like, because I remember when they moved in, Roman, my son that told me, the prom send-offs, the culture, he was like, I love this. We need to have more color in this neighborhood. And I go, I agree. That family popped up MAGA signs.
Black Republicans are something I will never understand.
I agree.
Nobody is more hated by white people, Democrats, than a free-thinking black person. They detest them with a level of hate you will never understand. You think you have a problem with Big Mike or Barack Obama? I don't have a problem with Barack Obama. I just think I just want him to go to jail. I want him to be arrested. Big Mike, I mean, whatever. I wouldn't want to be playing her football team. I'm pretty sure she can throw those shoulders around. But here's Jennifer Welch bragging about how rich she is. Oh, I live in a neighborhood with 99.9%. She's bragging. She's literally saying, I live in a rich neighborhood. And then some black people move in. They're MAGA. They're free thinking. And I'm like, oh, gross. And we're the racist ones? We're the racist ones, really? You could learn something from them. I bet you they don't look goblinish. I bet you they don't look like a freaking demon. They have a podcast called the I've Had It podcast. Who the heck would want to listen to a couple of Democrat women yap about something they know nothing about? But I'm thankful. Put her out there. She is a interesting person to look at. Here's a little bit more of Jennifer Welch being evil.
I mean, I always say to Pumps, I'm like, we cannot lose our democracy to these dorks. I mean,
bro, have some self-awareness, guys. Look at you, dude.
I mean, I always say to Pumps, I'm like, we cannot lose our democracy to these dorks. I mean, Stephen Miller is the worst.
The worst.
Absolute worst human being on the planet. And then you get to JD Vance, who is a failed drag queen. You know, he is a failed drag queen. He wanted to be a drag queen. He couldn't do it. He wasn't fabulous enough. He goes off to Peter Thiel's gay boot camp in Silicon Valley, and he comes out like a sociopathic, queer-eyed freak show. You know, he'd be so much cooler if he'd just come out. And
listen to that mouth and look at the lack of self-awareness. Jennifer Welch, I don't think you should be talking about people looking like failed drag queens, okay? I don't think you should be talking about sociopathic, queer-eyed freak shows. I don't think you should be talking about anybody's looks or anybody's genders. What gender is a goblin? Are there female goblins? I don't know. What is the Baphomet? I don't know. But for them to talk about, and you notice what they do. This is very common. This is like probably the biggest critique I get from people, from the haters is you're gay. They love to pull that card on us. Wait, I thought you guys were down with that. Why are you insulting me by saying that when you know I'm not?
Oh my God.
You guys, though, it's like an honor and a privilege to be LGBT, but it's an insult when you use it against us. But this is how the left works. They don't actually care about any of the groups they pretend to like. They say they're down with blacks until they move into their neighborhood and are free thinkers and like Trump, then they hate blacks. They say they like gays until they don't like someone, then they'll use gays as an insult on them. They say they love the trans until they don't like somebody, then they'll say they look like a failed drag queen, which is really a rip on trans women. So it's all one big mess, but we know this. Let's keep an eye on Jennifer Welch. She may be the cringe queen. If you have some good nicknames for her, please leave them in the comments. Please like and subscribe. Have a blessed day, and I will see you in the next one.
I've had it with white people that triple trumped. Yeah. That have the nerve and the audacity to walk into a Mexican restaurant, a Chinese restaurant, an Indian restaurant, go to perhaps their gay hairdresser. I don't think you should be able to enjoy anything but Cracker Barrel. And if you want to triple Trump and you want to browbeat DEI and you want to browbeat gay people and you want to browbeat black people as you've been doing for 400 years.